Yeah, man. Welcome to another episode of the Be Limitless Today podcast. I am your host, Jarvis Cobb, and we are still doing our series on root work. And for those that don't know, what is root work, you might ask? So, root work is a practice of accountability and ownership for me. So, it's over the last 2 years, it's been taking account or taking responsibility for my happiness, taking responsibility for my joy, my mental health, my physical health, the way that I approach day-to-day life and the way that I present. That's all on me. So I'm always listening to a faith-based talk every day. I listen to motivational talks and positive stuff every day. And any quote or anything that has sparked any thought in me or made me want to change things, I wrote it down on a sticky note. So I used to write it down in a notebook and it used to go into the drawer and never be seen again. So I changed it up, wrote it on the sticky note to where I can pop in and pull one out every day and look at it. So now I've been sharing it with you all. I do 5 of these randomly, and then I speak on what I might have been going through at that time, what the quote means to me, and hopefully it helps spark some thought in you and give you some things to think about. So let's just get started. A lot of us live our lives waiting for God to carry us over something when He has already created a way for us to walk across it. And action on your part is required. So this one, man, look, man, this applies to a lot. So with me, it was, or it is really waiting for God to create that next opportunity for me. I guess is waiting for God to set it up as far as being a speaker and going and doing speaking gigs. Just waiting for God to set up the perfect opportunity or the perfect scenario, or have, a big company come to me and say they want me to talk. And it's more so me needing to take the first steps. So what this quote means to me and what it has in my mind is God has a job, but God has an opportunity that's just waiting for me to step towards it. So as soon as I take a step on whatever direction I take, maybe I do a Google search and make a phone call to a certain company, or I get on a website and build a profile, and then now I'm visible on that speakers bureau or something like that. But God already has somebody out there looking for somebody like me, but they just can't find me. And it's my job to take whatever step that's next in my mind, take that step, put myself in the position for the opportunity, and then the opportunity will meet me. So this is an everyday thing. This is like a everyday work through in my mind of take your steps, man. Do your part, do your little things. Even like this, doing these videos, doing the root work, that could be a first step to me connecting with somebody that's looking for something like this. So you never know what it could be. All you have to do really is take the steps that you know to take and that you are capable of taking, and not worry so much about how the big picture is going to come together. That's what I get from it. Number 2, when you don't share your gift, you die. And yeah, I was gonna say it don't mean literally you die, but it could mean that though, because it's slowly. So this meant to me, when you don't show your gift, that's when all of that anxiety, that's when a lot of that enviness, that's when a lot of the self-doubt and the not thinking that you're adequate enough, that's what a lot of that stuff builds. When you are shying away and you're hiding away from the things that you're good at, and that you know in your mind you could be doing certain things. You know in your mind, in your heart, that you are capable of doing it. You've done it before. You have the ability, but yet you still let doubt and fear and negative thoughts just take over and stop you from taking action, stop you from taking steps forward, stop you from moving towards things you know you should be moving towards. And the hardest part about it is you keep getting these visions of doing that. You keep getting these visions of a better life, of all of these wonderful things that you want, but on your day to day, you are not taking action towards it. So slowly but surely, you're dying inside. Your joy is dimming down. Your light is dimming down. Your passion is fading. Your focus is off. Now you're more irritable. Now you getting angry quicker, and you're lashing out at people. And it's not even really about the thing that's happening. It's really about you being upset with yourself because you haven't taken the steps that you know you can take. You know you got the capability. You know you have the power and the will to do those things, but you just are not doing them, and you're so frustrated, and is you don't know why. So that's what this meant to me is when you're not using the gifts that God gave you, the things that come easy to you to move towards a better life for you, a more happy life, a life full of joy, a life that could be, more financially, stable, or even just building wealth. It could be either one. But the fact that you're not doing the things that you know you can do to move towards that life is slowly killing you inside. That's how I felt. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but that's how I felt. During the pandemic, and yeah, coming through the pandemic, coming out the end of the pandemic is I just wasn't doing what I know I was capable of doing. So it was slowly just eating at all of the good qualities, man. Hopefully, not even hopefully, I am coming out of it. I'm fit. These videos have been helping a lot with that because it's something that I know that I could do. It's something that I've been getting some feedback, and it is helping people, but it is an outlet for me to show my gift, give my gift, speak, inspire, and grow at the same time. So if you're not using your gifts, man, just think about the overall effect it can be having, because it can be affecting more than you give it credit for. All right, number three. Number three. Four of them I want to get out and get them. Yeah. Are you ready to make peace with how things are? Believing that God can somehow use it for his glory? Or are you going to let one missing piece define the rest of your life? So this one, man, yeah, this one is focusing on this was me focusing on the things that I'm not good at yet, and then using that as an excuse to not move forward. So this is like me seeing a speaker and saying, with Eric Thomas, I'll look and say, "Oh, I'm not that dynamic. I'm not that boisterous. I don't command that type of power when I speak." Or with Stephen Furtick is, "Oh man, I can't connect the story to make it so simple that it's almost impossible for you not to get. I can't. I don't have the vocabulary like a Stephen A. Smith. I don't have the depth and the knowledge like a T.D. Jakes. So I'm looking at all these aspects and I'm using them as reasons why I can't go and get these speaking gigs. I can't go and get on these stages because I don't have those talents. I don't have those understandings. I can't put the thoughts together like some of those guys. I don't speak as well as some of those guys. But it's just an excuse. I'm staring at the missing pieces. So this question was, are you ready to make peace with how things are? Are you going to be happy with who you are? Period. Or question mark. Are you going to be happy with who you are? Stop thinking about what you don't have. Stop thinking about what others have, what other people, what their talents are, what their skills are, what they can do. What can you do? Because that's what's going to make you different. That's how God made you different. God made you see things a certain way, and it's only going to be spoken in a certain way that you can speak it. It's only going to be mentioned a way that you can mention it. And it's because of how you've been created. So are you going to make peace with how you are? Or are you going to focus on that one missing thing, that one missing element that you enjoy seeing, that you aspire to? Are you going to focus on that one missing piece, or are you going to look at everything else that you have and that every other way you've been created and live in that? I'm still making peace with mine, man. I ain't gonna say I'm all the way there, but I am definitely making peace with it and moving towards it. And it's already feeling better. I'm already building on joy with it. All right, I see a pink one down here. Let's get a pink joint out here. Number four. Almost there, people. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So this one, what it meant to me is that one thing that you are scared to do is the exact thing you're supposed to do to move to the next level, move to the next opportunity, or get you on the path to the place that you want to get to. The cave you fear to enter is the treasure you seek. So go do it. That's really what it boils down to, is that that thought about the thing that you want to do, that idea that pops in your head that scares you, that opportunity that's in front of you that you feel you're not qualified for, that you feel you don't have enough skills or connections, or you're not sure if you can do it. That is the exact thing that you're supposed to do to move towards the thing that you're trying to get to. So it could be more joy, it could be happiness, it could be fulfillment, it could be financial success, it could be just, status growth, or achieving a goal, losing weight, getting a new job, whatever the case may be. If it's an idea that that keeps coming up, and it's an opportunity that keeps presenting itself, and it's something that you're scared to do, that's the part right there. I'm realizing if something comes up, I get a thought, and then immediately my mind tries to talk me out of it, or immediately I start to think about why I can't do it, that's exactly the thing I should go and try to do. And then we'll see what happens. That's one of my biggest mottos in life, is go see for yourself. Don't take nobody's word for it. Don't even take your word for it if you haven't done it yet. So as soon as you get an idea about something, if you try to talk yourself out of it, that's the exact thing you need to do. And you just need to start walking towards it and don't think twice. I do that a lot with fitness now. When I when I get the thought, like, okay, I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm gonna do cardio, so I'm gonna get up a little earlier. As soon as I start to come up with all of these excuses, oh man, you are you in the office today or not? Are you is the space clean? Are you gonna be cutting your sleep? Are you gonna get enough sleep now, man? Look at the time, dude. It's already 1:30 in the morning. If you try to get up at 7, then that's only 5.5 hours of sleep. What you gonna do? You start to do these things immediately. When I do that, I know, okay, that's the thing I'm supposed to do now. So now I'm moving towards that, and we're gonna just do it, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if I'm tired during the day. We're gonna see if it cuts my day off, or throws me back during my work day. Let's go see for ourselves. Don't take nobody's word for it. Don't even take your word for it. Walk towards that cave that you've been trying not to walk into. Is exactly where you need to be to move forward to the next thing. All right, people. Number 5. We done made it here. All right. It's less about what you have and more about how you handle what you have. I remember this. This was a Stephen Furtick sermon. And I guess this goes back to going what we talked about just a minute ago, of just going to do what you can do with what you have. Sometimes I get so focused on what I don't have yet, what opportunities aren't here yet, what skills I don't have yet. And that's not what it's about, honestly. And It's about just going with what you have. Do with what you got. And that's how it's supposed to be in this stage of the process. I guess I'm learning that more and more things are process based. It's probably everything really is a process of, it's not about just seeing the end goal and then just being at the end goal. The end goal is the end goal, and I have a bunch of big end goals. But really, you got to take those steps to get there, man. It's gonna be a process to get there. Just jumping to that spot is going to do nothing if I don't have the knowledge to keep it, if I don't have the knowledge to appreciate it and develop it and grow it. And with this, I remember one of the examples he gave was in a marriage. It says less about the woman you have is more about how you handle the woman you have, or the man, or who, your spouse. We And he was saying the idea of, we try to change our spouse, or we try to point and say, well, they aren't doing it like I think they should do it, or if I had a different spouse, then this would be better, or that would be better. And it's not about the spouse. You chose the spouse you chose. Now it's about, how are you doing it? How are you handling it? Then with the when he came to God, it's less about the gifts that God gave you. It's more about, how are you managing those gifts? We always want more. We ask for more. But what are we doing with what he already gave us? What are you doing with what God has already blessed you with? Are you managing that properly to where he can trust you with more? Are you managing it to where you know you can handle more? And that's a big one too. I keep I keep one of these big things is, okay, are you building up the ability to handle more, dude? Because with more comes more of all. Yeah, it's gonna be more good, but it's gonna be more tough times too. It's gonna be more obstacles and more things that you got to deal with. Can you handle that? Or are you just looking at what the benefits are? So take a step back. It's less about what you have, it's more about how you are handling what you have. So think about that in your life too. What's some of the things that you have, and how are you managing that? How are you managing your finances? How are you managing your health? How are you managing your family? Three major things. And are you managing in a way that you can then take on more? And if you can't take on more, then let's stop asking for more for right now, and let's focus on getting those things in order, getting those things to where you feel solid about them and that you're ready to move forward. Man, I appreciate you guys, man. I'm glad I did this in the morning this time, just to switch it up on the energy. Let's see how it comes out on the video. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope you're getting something from this. I'm gonna be doing this root work for a little while here, because it's definitely helping me, and I'm getting some good feedback from you guys. So I think it's helping you guys too. Always, man, check in with your God. That was a thought I had today, was check in with God, people. Get your prayer on and go have a conversation. I know we go to God, we ask him, to help us during hard times and difficult moments, but go have a conversation. Just ask some questions as if you were talking to a friend, and then leave space, leave some quiet time, let some answers come to you. And it might come to you in a voice, it might come to you in a thought. You might see something outside that answers the questions that you have, but take some time, man. Have some prayer. Go through some things, and see if God brings the answer to you, and move forward. Give it a try. If what you doing ain't working, try something different, right? So if you haven't been praying and having that conversation, give it a shot. it could be a big change, a game changer for you. But man, we always close with negative news is freely given. Positive news must be searched for. And if you can't find it, then you create it. So go create your positive news this week. We'll catch you in the next episode. I'll holler at you guys.